In class, today we are going to look at a few features of Microsoft Word. We want to become more professional in using Microsoft Word. I'm going to share my screen. Then we shall follow exactly the steps as I do them. You should have a computer with you or a laptop, and you follow these steps just exactly as I'm going to do them. Let me share my screen. Okay. So let me enlarge it so it will see clearly. So we are going to type equals, don't put any space, then rand, again no space, open brackets, then put 1000. Close the brackets, no spaces, and you press enter. Okay, so some text is going to be on the screen. As you see, we have 17 pages. So I'm on the very last page. I'm going to use Control Home. Go to the first page. So we are going to learn margins. We are going to work with margins. A computer has margins the way we also have margins in our books. So when you look at the top here, we have what we call the top margin, and the top margin is marked by this gray area. So we have a rule on this side. The white area shows where the text is, but the gray area shows you the margin. So that's the top margin. When we come to this horizontal ruler here, we have the left margin also marked with gray, and we have the right margin also marked with this gray. That is the right margin. When you go to the bottom, we also have the bottom margin marked with the gray. Now, these margins, practically, we don't type into the margins, but we can write into the margins. So when you want to write into the margins, it means what you put in the margin is going to appear on each and every page. That is why in the margins we normally put page numbers, and we put headers, and we put also footers. So we are going to see that ahead. But right now, we want to see how we can adjust the size of the margin. So automatically, computer gives you a sizable margin, but you have the choice to adjust that margin to what you need. So how do we do it? We click on the layout tab. Click the layout tab. Then under the layout tab, you have what is called margins. So when you click on the drop down for margins, so currently we are seeing the computer is in normal margins, and the normal margins are set on the top is 2.54 and left is 2.54, bottom and so on. So it means they are equal margins. Okay. Computer can also have what you call narrow margins, which are 1.27. If I do narrow margins, you can see my margins have changed to narrow. We have also an option for moderate margins, but we have also an option for wide margins. But when you scroll down, we have what we call mirrored margins. Now, mirrored margins are used when you are setting a textbook. So if you are setting a textbook, especially when you are going to print on double sides, that is back to back, face and back on the paper, always use the mirrored margins because it will reflect the other side where you are going to have the staple or the binding, such as it automatically leaves you a space that side. So if you are setting a textbook, use the mirrored margins. But you have also an option to go to custom margins. Now, if I go to custom margins, here I can set my own margins. Like the top margin here is 2.54, but I can choose to change it to 1.3. The left margin is 1.9. I can also choose to change it to 1.2. Bottom margin is 2.54. I can also change it to, let me make the bottom and top be the same, 1.3. And then the right margin, let me also make it 1.2, like the left margin. So after changing that, then I'll click OK. Okay, I didn't put a valid measurement here. This is centimeters. I click OK. Oh, there is a mistake here. This is one, I wrote a comma instead of a point. So 1.3 centimeters. All right. So the margins have changed according to the size which I have set. As you can see here, it has decreased, it has decreased. So always come to layout, then margins, then choose the type of margin you need. But if it's not there, then come to custom margins, then set the margins according to what you need. Then we have also what we call orientation of the paper. So you can print your paper in landscape or portrait. So to do that, again, under layout, you come to orientation. So we have two types of orientation of paper. We have portrait and we have landscape. So you choose either way. Portrait is when you print from top to bottom. Then landscape, that is when you orient the paper and you print from left to right. Okay, now I'm going to leave at portrait. Then you also have what we call paper size. Now paper size, you can choose. Normally the normal paper we use, the rim paper, is called A4. Sometimes even if you use a letter, but we use A4. Always choose A4. But half of A4 is A5. You can choose A5. That is a half of A4. We also have A3. So depending on what you need. But if the size of the paper you need is not there, then you go to more paper sizes. So under more paper sizes, you have paper there, and you can choose the width of the paper and the height of the paper. Then after you click on OK. So that is paper size, but now I'm going to leave it at A4 paper size. Then we have columns. We can put columns in our work. So you select the work to put columns. You select your work, the work which you want to put into columns. Then under layout, you come to columns. So normally we automatically type in one column, but you can convert the work to two columns. You can also convert the work to three columns, depending on what you need. Sometimes you see a line between the columns. So to do that, under columns, you come to more columns. So after selecting the number of columns you need, you can increase the number there, you can decrease the number. So after selecting the number of columns you need, then you click on line between. Line between, then you click OK. You can also increase or decrease the line between the columns. So under more columns, you have the option for spacing and width. So you can increase the width or you can reduce the width, then you click OK. So that is columns. Now to remove these columns, maybe after putting them and you don't need them, you can also remove them. How do you remove them? We are going to highlight. We are going to highlight. Then after highlighting, you go back to where you put the columns. And this time you are going to select one column. So I have removed the columns. Then also we have what we call breaks. Now these breaks, we usually use them when we are creating section breaks, especially when I want to some pages to be with the Roman numbers and others to be with normal numbers. So we can use the breaks there. Okay, so we have seen the margins, we have seen the orientation, we have seen the sizes, we have seen the columns, the breaks, but also we have line numbers. So under line numbers, if I click continuous, each line is going to be given a number from the top. Okay? Those are line numbers. To remove them, you go where you put them from, then you say none. You have different options of line numbers. You can say restart each page, restart each section, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to leave it at none. Then we have hyphenation. Hyphenation. Now, normally, when you are typing your words, when the word doesn't fit at the end here, it automatically come down. Automatically come down. But if I put hyphenation and I say automatic, so you are going to see that a word which does not fit is broken into two, like this word embedded now does not fit. So it is automatically broke into two words. So we have a, then a dash, embedded. So that is what we call hyphenation. So select your work, choose none, I remove it, automatic, I put it like this word you see. Design has been broken into two. Now I'm going to remove I'm going to leave it at none. Okay. So for the layout, let us leave it at that. The spacing, paragraph spacing, we shall see it in the line spacing. Now let us go to putting headers and footers in our work, also putting a watermark in our work. So to put a header, normally the header is going to come in the margin. The header will come in the margin and is going to appear on each and every page. Say, for example, I want to put a header which is my student number on each and every page. So I'll come to insert. Under insert, we have header there. So we have different types of headers, but I'm going to choose edit header because I want to type in my student number. So I'm going to say edit header. So it automatically goes to the heading section. Then I put my student number. Now it is on the left here, but if I want it in the middle, I can come to the home tab and I put it in the center. I can do even what I want on it, change the size, change the colors, I can change its font, everything I can do under the home tab. And change the font, I can change its size, can change the color. Okay. So after working with the headers, you always have to go away from the headers. So the easiest way to go out of the header is to double click inside your work. So when I double click, I am already out of the headers. Or else another easiest way to go to the header is to double click. The moment you double click in the header section, you are inside the header. So you can also go out of the header by clicking on close, header, and footer. So the same way, we can go now to the footer. Now, when you look into your work, all of your pages are going to begin with your student number. All of your pages, they will begin with your student number. Then you want to put also the footer. So the footer, again, we can double click in the footer section, or we can go under insert, then we select footer. And now I'm just going to double click in the footer section. Again, I'll put it in the center. And I'm going to type my index number. After that, again, I'm going to use close header, or I will double click inside my work and it will close. So that is inserting headers and footers. Now, when you look at all of your pages, you have those headers and footers. They will appear on each and every page. Now, if I want to remove these headers and footers, if I want to remove them, again, I can come back to insert under header. Then I will click remove header. And under footer, then I will click remove footer. So that's how I remove them and they have gone. I also want to put a watermark into my work. Watermark will appear on each and every page. So I'll come under design and I'll choose watermark. So custom watermark. So we have no watermark, but I can choose picture watermark and select a picture. But also you can put text watermark and you type a text here. Okay. So I'm going to type duplicate. This one you can change also the font. Any font you want. You can change the size to any size you want. You can also change the color. Give it any color you want. So you can make it horizontal or diagonal. The choice is yours, horizontal or diagonal. So let me leave it at diagonal and I'll say apply. Then okay. Then close. So you can see the watermark inside my work. Is there on each and every page, there's a watermark. Then we have page colors also. When you come to page color, you can choose your page to take any color. Now, you'll note that this color, when you print your work, it will not come in that yellow color. No, This is just for your eyes. It's just for your eyes. So that is page color. We normally use the white color. Then we have borders. You can also put borders on your page. Select a box. Select a lining style you need. The color you need for your border. Then the width. If you need any art, if you don't need the lining style and you need art, you can also choose to have art. Let's first use the lining style with the color. Now, if I choose whole document, it will be on the whole document. You are free to choose this section, that is if you have selected. You can also choose it to be on the first page. Let us first take for whole document. Okay, so now when you look into the whole document, you can see I have put borders in the whole document. Okay. Let us also try first page. So this time I'm going to use the art. I'm going to use the art, and I'm not going to say whole document, but I'm going to say first page only. Then I'm going to click OK. So it's going to this section instead of first page only. We go back. Art. First page only. Okay. So there we have it on the first page. Okay. Okay. So those are borders, but you can also choose to have it just on the left. So I can choose to have just on the left only. And the weight. Okay. So I'm putting the border all on the left, but the whole document. So when you look at my entire document, just on the left only, there's a border. So in your free time, you can practice these things. They are easily doable. Okay. So under design, we have seen the watermark, we have seen the page colors, we have seen the borders. And under layout, we have also margin, orientation, size, columns. So these are easy things which you can do. You practice in your free time. Then we have also the view button. Under the view button, you can view your work inside under reading mode. So yeah, you can only read. You don't have other tools. Or you can go to the edit mode. You have the web layout, but we have the outline. But normally, you can close outline. But normally we use the print layout. So in case your work appears like this, it means you are in the under web layout. So it means just convert it back to print layout, because normally we use the print layout. So I want you to practice these features as much as you can and get used to them. I wish you a good day. I think we can hear for our lecture for today.